Sam might take this with the experience, and then Woody coming in with Hama's prediction. So let's go straight into Darkest Muzhan's first attack.
Yeah, and we're going to have Kartik going in with the drag bat. We got 9 dragons here with 1 E-drag. E-drag maybe to help set a final potentially, because typically if you send an E or multiple E-drags in and the dragons remove their defenses in front of it, the E-drag just won't get the value that you want. So here we go. E-drag is end up being used for the top side, and he's finding a Tesla farm, which is absolutely perfect. Look at this chain value. So the Tesla farm will go down. He sends 1 balloon in there as well with a boulder bounce. Oh, wait a second. A boulder bounce onto the wizard tower. Absolutely brilliant idea for funneling right there, because he can reach there, and now he can send the dragons, and then the king and the queen are going to come further south, and he's going to be able to charge his way straight through, and the dragons have nowhere to go but staying in the core of this base.
This is a beautiful start from Kartik, and getting some maximum value from this bowler bouncing onto a wizard tower as well. It seems like every little vulnerability of the space has been perfectly taken advantage of. Kartik moving in with a main force now up at the top. Those dragons are awesome at taking down those big structures, especially when they're raged up like this. He's losing quite a few of them to that Giga Inferno, though, and I'm a bit worried that he didn't use enough spell coverage to protect them early on in this raid. Still, there's not too much to worry about on the back end. Only 1 air defense, and that's the biggest threat against a dragon army like this. Lots of chain lightning value from that Electro Dragon, and this raid could still go pretty far. However, I think 3 stars is going to be pretty unlikely with that Archer Queen on the backside still looking very healthy and no real clear way to take her out.
Yeah, unfortunately, the biggest issue there was the enemy Royal Champion, which pulled the dragons kind of off the Town Hall, and they had to move their way around. Now, the enemy Queen is up in the core, and there are no splash damage except that Eagle Artillery that could wreck the bats, but the bats have gotten into the range of the Eagle, so it won't do any damage to them, and now they're moving their way around, and they're getting picked off one by one by the Archer Tower, and then there is the single target Inferno. That Queen is going to do work, and the bats are dying off. Very nice try by Kartik, but it's just going to be the 2-star into the 90% range.
Yeah, I'd say never before have we seen a stage 1 set up so beautifully into an attack, but still fall short ultimately. Kartik's hit early on created a beautiful funnel, but there was just a little bit too much resistance and not enough spell support for those dragons on the top side of the base to make their way down south. That enemy Archer Queen, she's just 1 troop, but she's deadly for aerial raids, and it didn't really seem like Kartik had any idea about how to deal with her on the backside, just hoping if the dragons made it all the way through. But as you noted, Carbon, with that Royal Champion providing some blocking power there for Rangyo's base, Hama will hold on to that 3rd and final star on defense.
Yeah, it was a really nice try there. Just lost that push through the court, and the dragons lost so much HP trying to get through that Town Hall, and the Warren ability was just a little bit I think it was just a little bit late, and the dragons kind of moved off to the top side away. But we're jumping into the very next attack from Hama, which is going to be Miso coming in with the Yeti Smash with double the jumps here, and the Grand Warden is going to be used at the very beginning and has some of the Sneaky Goblins. So you can see some of these players are loving to use the Sneaky Goblins. We're seeing some Super Witches, and we're seeing a great variety of these Super Troops here in these attacks. And I mean, if you're not using one of these Super Troops, I'm just wondering, what are you doing? I would use a Super Troop at every single one of my hits.
Absolutely, and they're particularly deadly on defense. That Inferno Dragon can burn up through any big attacker, especially if you've got a Lava Hound out in front to provide some blocking there. Miso's going to be continuing his push through the top side. He's a really strong attacker with a 94% average destruction from his first 2 hits, but has yet to get that coveted 3-star, always coming just a little bit short. He's going to be moving in with a ground-based army using that Yeti Smash technique with 2 jump spells to make his way through these relatively small compartments toward the interior of the space. Already the Eagle Artillery starting to fire away, though, locked onto the bulk of that Yeti Smash piercing maneuver at the very front of the space. He's going to get an easy way to get that Town Hall down first for the single star to start with, Carbon.
Yep, pops that Grand Warden Totem. Hopefully he can take the Town Hall down just in time. It's still barely staying up. It's taking forever.
Oh, no.
No, the Town Hall is not going down. The bowlers. Oh, they just avoid the Town Hall Giga Bomb, though. Oh, looked out there, but can he push his way through the core, though? I don't know. We'll have to see if he can keep the momentum up, but the healers are not switching off to the Yetis.
I don't know how you can justify that sort of a hit, Carbon Finn. He took a ton of damage early on and couldn't get that Town Hall down in time. Now, he actually did have the Grand Warden Eternal Tome protecting from most of the Giga Inferno damage there, but wow, what a misplay here early on from Miso. I don't know if you could have really predicted what was going to happen there, to play devil's advocate, but geez, that really hurt him early on and is going to deny him the 3-star for sure. No access to that Inferno Tower in the left side compartment means that it's just going to burn up a couple of healers along their way toward the bottom side of the space, never really getting a chance to fire away at that Eagle artillery either. It has just pulverized this attack. Miso trying his best to catch up against that percentage destruction that we just saw put up by Darkest Muzhan, but I think that Muzhan's going to have a slim lead as this attack starts to peter out.
Yeah, unfortunately, that momentum through the core was not able to keep it. Now it's just these barbs trying to grab some more percentage, and with some minions on the outside. Very nice attack from Miso trying to get it. Remember, the percentage is close, 92% from Darkest Muzhan, and this one is going to be about an 89, so it is neck and neck here, and neither one of these clans want to be going home, so the percentage is there. Banks, it's going to be anyone's game here.
Miso with an unfortunately just being held at the gates just a little bit too long. It was very unfortunate there for him. But, like you said, extremely close on percentage. Have Hama lost their nerve? It's too early to tell. Obviously, the match is still extremely close, but let's take a quick look at this replay from Miso, Woody.
Take a look at this early strike into the interior of the base. Inferno and Giga Inferno are just burning up these troops while there's so much damage going in from the scatter shots on the backside. Had to pop that Grand Warden Eternal Tome relatively early, and that left Miso without the bulk of the force that he needed to protect against so many defensive structures firing away at his troops early on. Had the jump spells and the maneuverability to get around the base, but just not the firepower necessary to knock those big buildings down.
Yeah, we're taking a look at now Wei, who was the MVP of the last year's World Championship team, and he's coming in to try to help take down Miso's base, which Wei is using the 8 dragons. Yes, just mass dragons. Notice how he's using these boulders to set the funnel, and then there is an opening in the wall next to that king platform. Is he going to try to take advantage of it and send the queen towards the Eagle artillery, because he does have one super wall breaker? Down goes that, but wait a second, that is a multi-target Inferno. It's not going to do really anything to the World Champion here.
Great read here by Wei, attacking where the defense is least concentrated. World Champion is a bit distracted by those skeletons, though, and has already used her ability, so she's not going to get a whole lot more work done on that side. Instead, take a look over at the Barbarian King and the Archer Queen, who are stabbing into this base right now. Taking down one of those scatter shots is really important to protect these dragons on the backside. They're going to have 4 balloons to provide a little bit of cushioning out in front and protect them for their push. One of them actually getting used on the Tesla over there on the left corner, but wow. Almost half of the space has been finished off, and Wei is just getting ready for the main stage of his attack right now. Lots of storage is along the outside of this here, but the funnel is looking pretty good, and with a stone sliver to back things up, these dragons are going straight for their target, Carbon.
Wei, he doesn't have an archer to move the Lava Hound. Oh no, that's one of the biggest mistakes. You need to take at least 1 or 2 archers just in case if you pull the CC. I know, granted, he had no plans to pull that clan castle out, but in case you do, the Lava Hound has to be moved. Right now, it's going to slow these dragons down in the core tremendously.
And a tornado.
Oh no, look at this Hound. It's going to be tanking all the stuff in the core, and the dragon's getting locked onto it.
Miso, dastardly on defense, has got the Lava Hound and Tornado Trap, just what Wei did not want to have to run into. There is a possibility that he could still get a big 2-star hit from this Raiden. 3 stars isn't yet out of the question, but really slowed down there in the center of the base when he really couldn't afford it. These dragons still making their way to the top, and with a little bit of chip damage from those dragons early on, they're able to take down the air defense. This might still be a 3 Carbon, even with all the difficulty earlier on.
Yeah, he shredded through that Lava Hound. He made that look so easy. I would have thought the Hound was going to stall up the dragons, but it's absolutely amazing. Wei just says, I don't care. I'm going right through. He took out the sweeper earlier, so he didn't have to fight the sweeper through the town hall section because the other sweeper was pointed towards the 1 o'clock side. Very nice attack coming in from away for Darkus Muzhan. Beautiful job. That's absolutely what they needed here in this war.
Awesome job to Wei, coming in clutch exactly when Darkus Muzhan needed it most. They had a little bit of a lead, but the pressure is really on the team that goes first to put those 3 stars up on the board and pull far ahead. Hama now have got their feet to the fire, trying to just match pace against a Darkus Muzhan team that sent in one of their best in the second attack there and didn't come home empty-handed.
Yeah, we're going to see PSH coming in with the hybrid as well in this attack here. And he's kind of using one of the attacks that I've seen Lex for Tribe Gaming use, where he likes to use one Yeti on the outside to help set that funnel. But here goes the blimp straight into the scatter shot. Pulls out that clan castle, which we do see some goblins, the Inferno Dragon, and the archers there. Can he grab the scatter? And yes, it does go down. And drops the queen on the complete opposite side of where he dropped the blimp. We're just going to have to wait for these CC troops to run all the way across. There is one headhunter there. And get ready for the 4 healers to charge his way in.
Inferno Dragon looking deadly. It's got a few troops out in front to block for it, but nice use of the poison spell there. Should be enough to keep this Archer Queen safe. She's firing away at all these attacking troops, but wow, forcing out a freeze spell as well. PSH was really worried about those defending CC troops. Still, it looks like he'll be able to make it through after all. And did in fact bring a super wall breaker, so can crack into one of these outer compartments whenever he chooses to do so. He's got a little bit of pathing that's going to go around the bottom side. I'm not sure he's going to actually be able to target onto that town hall. Really nice job there by B on defense, creating a little bit of a gap in those walls to prevent the Archer Queen from making that stab into the base. But nonetheless, I think that that town hall is going to be going down pretty soon after, thanks to these miners.
Yep. Oh, the miners took some massive damage from that one eagle shot there. Gonna burn the... No, look at that. Beautiful job identifying not using the war internal tome, because the miners will go under the town hall. Now pops it for the hog riders. And that's why he delayed those hogs, so he didn't have to force that warden. And then he could use it deeper into the court. Really smart identification there. You don't see many players do. They just assume, I always pop an ability or the warden over the town hall. But with miners, you don't have to do that. You can use it a little bit later as long as the hogs are not there. And now, charging his way through with one heal and another rage. The healers have transferred off. Look at the rage, but this... Oh, that's a multi. I was going to say them. The Inferno Tower is on the Royal Champion, but she doesn't have her ability anymore. And unfortunately, we'll have to see if he's going to have the momentum push. He's got a handful of miners still up. He might have a chance here, Woody.
Those Hog Riders were just a big disappointment. PSH dropped a wasted free spell on the Inferno Tower earlier on, trying to protect them and make this push happen, but there's just not enough to justify that sort of big investment when you're this late on the game. PSH is not going to get the 3-star by any stretch and is really struggling to get that overall damage higher up, but so many defensive structures along the exterior, archer towers and mortars spread out around. I don't know if he's going to be able to get this very much higher at all. I even see a Tesla up on the top side, so there's like not any 3 structures for PSH to get. That's going to really pull them far down behind Darkus Muzhan now, and they're going to have to put some back-to-back triples up on the board in order to remain competitive later on.
Yeah, very nice try right there. It's just going to be, it looks like up toward... No, the Archer is definitely not going to get that Dark Elixir Stores. It's just going to be the 74% 2-star there for PSH of Hama. And they're going to have to try to look to get a 3-star to answer what Darkus Muzhan did. Banks, this is coming down to the wire. We talked about it before where it was close on percent, but now Darkus Muzhan is edging out with that 1 3-star.
Exactly. PSH, unfortunately, dragging that average percentage down into the early 80s. So Darkus Muzhan kind of can ease off the pedal a little bit, alleviate some of that pressure, maybe make a few more confident plays, and then we'll just have to see how this one plays out, Woody.
Sure will, but as we all know, fortune favors the bold. We have seen lots of strong attacks from Darkus Muzhan in the first couple of stages of this war, and they look to be continuing on in style. They've got a hybrid army here, but backed up with a kitchen sink full of troops, a giant to soak a few shots, goblins moving around, super wall breakers, balloons. It seems like every little thing that PSH has set up to try to frustrate UZP has already been predicted in advance. He's moving in hot with the Royal Champion to start things off, tossing that shield off to knock down quite a few of those defensive structures on the interior. That's looking like a really great setup so far. Even 5 healers to boost this Archer Queen, pulling out a few of the troops from that CC, but not a full pull just yet. But getting those 2 headhunters out of the way means that UZP doesn't have to worry very much about what's left in there. He might even actually be able to crack in toward that Eagle Artillery before it even activates, Carbon.
I think this might be the first time that we're seeing the Royal Champion being suied onto a hybrid attack because you have a Headhunter. I've talked about this before, where the Headhunter opens up the ability to kind of sui your Royal Champion. Normally, you always have to like send it in with the Miners and Hogs to help take down those heroes or things like that. But with a Headhunter, even though the Miners, granted, they could take out the Queen or the enemy heroes, it really changes the game. I mean, the Headhunter also changes the game for the lower Town Hall, Town Hall 12 as well, because of the fact that it does target onto those heroes. But this Queen is getting a massive amount of value through this Expo, through the Eagle Artillery, going to even get the other Expos that's on the other side of the Clan Castle, and now he's getting the hybrids away straight into the Town Hall. Beautiful job so far.
Yeah, this is a near perfect stage 1 of the attack. Even that poison spell got every single one, except for maybe just one little straggling lava pup on the exterior. UZP has kept his healers nice and healthy, used that balloon to mine sweep into that Seeking Air Mine and dropped it like a coconut. He's moving in now with those Hog Riders and keeping them in tip-top shape. Even has another heal spell and a freeze on the back end to protect them in case that multi-target Inferno gives them any trouble. He's keeping them well within the range of the Life Orb of that Grand Warden and burning down these defenses. 2 Wizard Towers on the back end could cause a little bit of trouble here, but he's going to drop that first freeze to keep them protected. Lots of Hog Riders and Miners. This is just a walloping victory from UZP.
This is looking wonderful. Look at all these Hogs, Miners, and even the P.E.K.K.A. from the Siege Barracks is still up with like 1 million of Wizards. The Queen burns her ability, finds a Tornado Trap, and even a backside balloon. He's got everything for this base and absolutely dissected it for the 3-star for Darkest Muzhan.
UZP is a madman on a rampage. The big star advantage for Darkest Muzhan is pushed even higher right off the back of this triple from a world champion. UZP does not disappoint and has got his clan another step closer to the playoffs.
Absolutely beautiful attack there, sending the Royal Champion in at the very beginning. Got so much value. The Queen set the other funnel, and then the Hybrid straight into the Town Hall, and beautiful Warden Eternal Tome to protect those Hog Riders and Miners through everything while the Town Hall was shooting back at them, and then finished up with so many troops left up there. It was absolutely beautiful. We're seeing these pro players showing how to get it done, especially with the Hybrid, which is a pretty old meta now at the moment. We've seen so many new ones, and we're seeing more of the Hybrid, and this is a little different style base that Way is bringing us with the Town Hall right next to the Clan Castle, and it's kind of all in one little area, but we'll have to see how if Muzhan Vs Hama is going to dissect this with the Hybrid.
Hama is living on a prayer. They need a perfect war from here on out. Nothing short of that will keep them competitive against the Darkest Muzhan squad that has already put up 2 triples. Rangos can be starting off with that Archer Queen over on the left corner, backed up with those healers, of course, to keep her nice and safe as she paths through this bottom left side pocket. This is actually a really big pocket that she can deal a ton of damage in as long as she can stay topped off. Distraction Skeletons are going to slow her down a little bit here, but she's got some nice healing from those healers right behind her, and rage them up as well. That is going to be plenty of firepower to get through the outer layer of this base, drawing out the CC as well. Can she target on the Inferno Dragon first? Yes, she does. He's going to drop a free spell anyways, though, just to keep her nice and safe, but it's the Inferno Tower that's actually going to be the main threat here, burning up these healers.
Wow, the Infernos, yeah, the multi-target Inferno did work on those healers, and a single target Inferno was forced that freeze right there, pops a Grand Warden Eternal Tome super early here through the Town Hall, and this Queen's making her way, continuing down the base. Hogs do come out of the Siege Barracks, but can he push his way and keep the movement? The Queen is down! He wanted that Queen to keep that push all the way through the bottom side of this base, but with a Lava Hound and an Inferno Dragon defending in that Clan Castle, it was forced him to pop that free spell on the Inferno Dragon, but I feel he could have gotten away with not dropping the freeze because the Queen locked onto the Inferno Dragon first, I believe. Especially through a poison, it takes so long for the Inferno Dragon to charge up his beam with that poison spell on it.
You are absolutely right about that, Carbon, and the panic drop of that free spell left his healers high and dry. A trial by fire that they just could not survive with so many Inferno beams ripping them apart. the tearing and just like absolute destruction through that support wave left Ranger without any way of dealing with the backside of the space, and Hama are now in absolutely dire straits. Darkest Muzhan clapping each other on the back and celebrating now as their 8 to 6 star advantage in the first 3 hits have left little to wonder here who's going to be moving on to the playoffs.
Yeah, we're going to have to see 2 really good defenses from Hama and then triples as well if they're going to want to have a chance to advance here. But they're going to have to take all the risks. I mean, it's possible. Never say it's not impossible, but they have a chance. They do indeed have a chance. I've seen crazier comebacks in this game before. So you just have to believe, and it comes down. You never know if something ends up happening.
Jim Carrey and Dumb and Dumber. So you're saying there's a chance?
There is a chance. Yes, but
it's still possible. We're holding on hope.
I will have to say, unfortunately for Hama, have they lost their nerve? I'll say it again. Have they lost their nerve? Losing to INTZ with all of those triples, has that knocked them back a peg? And now they just can't seem to clamber back up. Darkest Muzhan sitting on a 97% average percentage right now. And Hama just looks like they're slipping. I'm going to have to agree with Woody here. It looks like this is Darkest Muzhan's game. Isn't that right, Carbon?
I mean, it's looking like Darkest Muzhan's game, but I've never count anybody out. You might be looking back at this like, see if Carbon's right, but granted, it's all on Darkest Muzhan's favor. I would love to be in the position that they are in right now, and we have the balloon going down, and we're going to see the Zaplo. If this is a 3-star, then it is all but done for Hama. And here we go with the Yeti on the outside to help set this funnel. So he can charge these heroes, it looks like, straight into this town hall, and he's waiting to drop these lightnings. That's going to be a little interesting because you don't want to pull that CC. He doesn't have a poison spell, so watch out. That lightning's going to have to come soon.
I'm going to drink my jug of pickle juice if Darkest Muzhan doesn't win this war. 3 attacks already, and I'm pretty well convinced that there's nothing that can stop this squad. They're already going for the Town Hall early on in this hit, so you know it's going to be at least a 2-star, and I'm pretty sure that Jin is going to be able to back it up with these double lava hounds in front of the 24 balloons to finish off the rest of this raid. Big lightning strike early on negated that clan castle in the center, and only things I'm really worried about now are that Eagle artillery relatively well positioned in the center of the space, but where do the air defenses go? They're all kind of on the outside. That top left and bottom left air defense are looking kind of deadly, but that top right one could easily be taken down by pretty much any stab at the outside of the base. Going to finish that off pretty quickly. So Arch Queen pops that ability, and wow, she's even going to get a few shots away at that single target Inferno.
Yeah, absolutely incredible value that he got. Watch out for a bunch of red air bombs on the other side of the Eagle and Expo. That's where I would put the red air bombs because there's no air defenses. Oh, there's one. Watch out. I think you're going to find a million there. So what? These balloons that are going to this Expo might get shredded unless the Grand Warden ability is going to protect him. Stone Slammer's moving up, and he's going to move his way around here. Going to go through. Grand Warden still has the ability. Pops it. And let's see. No, there's there's all the red air bombs. Oh, boy. At least he was under the protection
the Grand
of
Warden's
the ability.
protecting them.
Wow. I was worried that the red air bombs were going to be right there.
They were right there, but the Grand Warden negated all of that damage. So many balloons to just bomb the heck out of these troops. The buildings could not put up much of any defense at all, and Chen is on his way to another triple. Darkest Muzhan have really moved on and found their path to the playoffs, blazing a trail to victory.
Man, beautiful attack there for Darkest Muzhan with the Zap Lalo. I would love, after all the qualifier wars are done, to find out what the hit rate of the Zap Lalo is. That would be amazing to know because we're seeing so many triples with it in the qualifiers. And I've been doing a lot of them, not only in Legends, but also in Wars. So everybody at home, definitely take notes on this attack strategy because you could be doing it and getting the 3 stars. It's absolutely incredible. It's actually a lot of fun to do as well.
You gotta build a base that's anti-lightning Lalo because this strat has been so effective. You're right on the money here, Carbon, and I think we're only now kind of starting to see a few players out there who are building bases that are really specifically designed to prevent them. I pointed that out yesterday with Boom's base design. Go take a look at his if you want to get an idea for the sort of steps that you have to take to deny that sort of hit. But like, Yeah, Giovanni is going to be moving in next. He's got a ground-based army instead, using that hybrid, so we don't usually see the Lightning paired up with this squad. But man, these teams have been experimenting with lots of different attack strategies and have really found some interesting off-meta ways of taking advantage of the big changes in the game. This Headhunter being incorporated into virtually every army composition we've seen so far, Carbon.
Absolutely. The one thing I'm waiting to see is a Headhunter used in a blimp to help take down a section where a hero is, and no rage. That's the one thing I don't think we've seen, but we'll have to see. Maybe one day, maybe one of these attacks. But here we go. Anyways, the blimp which took out the town hall under the rage, really nice. Pulled out that clan castle. Queen's taking care of the CC, and that Headhunter's doing a little bit of damage, slowing that queen down, who's kind of like an ice golem in a way, kind of hitting the queen there, but the queen's gonna take down the hound. There's the pups. Does not have, I'm looking to see, no minion on this. Usually tend to see one minion for the pups. Decides to drop that one wizard. Now the queen's gonna walk around. Does have 2 super wall breakers to break her into the base here with the hybrid.
Yeah, I think Hama got a little bit worried that the damage from the Headhunter was going to threaten the queen and force out maybe an ability there. So he dropped that poison spell a little bit earlier than usual. That meant that the pups were actually able to survive with the poison spell wearing off and force a little bit more time out of Giovanni's attack. We're already halfway through the attack now and only 16% overall damage. We are really going to need a fast sweep through this base with a hybrid army if there's going to be any shot at all at the 3-star. He has taken down the town hall though, so all he's got to worry about is just finishing off percentage as high as he can get. The Archer Queen looking steady through the left side, taking down a ground-based Expo, but those healers are getting pushed back a little bit by the sweeper, kind of slowing things down. Shouldn't be too much trouble for a queen that's relatively topped off though.
Yeah. And that one free spell was just a little bit too late, and those hogs took a massive amount of damage from that scatter shot, forced to pop that queen ability. Here comes some Headhunters following in with the hybrid, moving their way in. The queen is stuck on this wall.
Oh, he's got the freeze.
Oh, he froze it. Okay, he can keep the queen alive. Yeah. Still, and he still has a king. Where? Okay, I completely lost where the king is.
The king's right there in the thick of it.
In the core of the base. He was supposed to be on the outside running all the way around towards 3 and up towards the base, but unfortunately he ran in, and that's not what Giovanni wanted in this attack. But can he still turn this one around? What?
I think the king can hear you. He's making his way to the outside. But yeah, as you've noted, even though it was a pretty impressive strike, it was just so super slow to start off with. And Giovanni was a guy that we mentioned earlier, got the 3-star on day number 1, but without a single second to spare in his attack. His second attack that we saw earlier got the 3-star as well. He's one of the highest hit rate players in the game, but just playing it too close, walking along the razor's edge, and ran out of time with this third and final hit.
Yeah. Wow, he could have swagged that heal spell. Banks, we're seeing some crazy attacks here for Darkest Muzhan. They're coming in, really going to be punching their ticket to the next playoffs. They're trying to get there, but still some great action so far.
Yeah, they are indeed. That 2-star, just not enough for Hama. Darkest Muzhan are really just running away with this. They've got one attack left to put themselves solidified and into that next round. And it's looking like, it's looking likely, isn't it, really? Woody, take us through this beginning of this one. We've got B from Darkest Muzhan.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure actually that Darkest Muzhan have already guaranteed their victory at a 98% average. There's kind of nothing that B could do here to screw it up, even if he just hits in battle already. I think that they're so far ahead that Hama could not catch up even with a triple. So it's going to be a victory lap, as we like to say, for B. Another opportunity to drop down and deal some damage to this base. But wow, the lower bracket has really had a lot of action today. Alternate Attacks has just had such a great showing, and backing it up with another one from Darkest Muzhan. The playoffs are really going to be an excellent opportunity to switch things up, as Group A and Group B are going to be turned on their heads, with Tribe going up against Darkest Muzhan and Alternate Attacks facing off against INTZ. We are really going to mix things up tomorrow with some excellent war fighting action. But take a look at the attack right now with B pulling out that CC and actually getting a drop, a free spell. Yeah, worried about that Inferno Dragon, which is really burning up that Archer Queen.
That's so interesting. Like, the Inferno Dragon forcing a free spell now usually would never drop a free spell on a queen charge like this, with trying to deal with a clan castle, but the Inferno Dragon makes that, pretty much forces you to, if you don't think the queen's gonna lock onto it right away. And maybe the best case would be to have if the queen wasn't down, like, drop a minion so the Inferno Dragon comes over a little bit faster than the queen, and then the Lava Hound will stay back a little bit further, which could be a way to maybe counter it, as I'm thinking about right now. But still, if you don't do that right away, it can be super difficult. And the Yeti, and though not the Yeti, well, yeah, here comes the Yetis. Probably gonna charge into the town hall with some witches on the outside. Super Wall Breaker opens it, but he sent that Royal Champion in right away. He's not waiting, and she's gonna help try to take this town hall down.
Yeah, finishing that off for the first star. B from Darkest Muzhan has put that last nail in the coffin, guaranteeing that his team will move on. But a Tornado Trap grabbing all of the troops there, forcing a rage spell out now from B just to keep them on target. He's continuing his path through destruction through this space along the top side. He's going to drop another jump spell. Really good positioning there. That should get him through almost all of the base, and only has to worry about another single target Inferno on the backside down there with an eagle, or with rather an Archer Queen to try to defend things here. But that Archer Queen is not going to stay up for very long. Raged up, B's own Archer Queen fires away at her. Drop a free spell on top of that, and this base is done for, Carbon Fin.
Yeah, absolutely. The Queen still has her ability with one Headhunter still to use. I mean, it's going to be a cleanup Headhunter at this point because all the enemy heroes are down. And with 30 seconds left on the clock, he's going to have to move around the base. I don't think there's any troll castles anywhere because everything is pretty much down. And the King, the Queen, the Warden, every hero except the Royal Champion is still alive here. And that is going to be another 3-star for Darkest Muzhan, and they're going to be one away from the perfect. We're seeing what a 14-star, 99%. We're seeing a perfect war. We're seeing another 14-star, 98.4%. Just absolutely incredible kind of attacks, incredible wars from these clans here.
Yeah, offense has really been on point for these squads, leaving no stone unturned and taking advantage of every little single bit of housing space that they can to try to find the ideal army comp to deconstruct these bases. 14 stars, perfect wars. Offense is really looking OP in this first Clash of Clans World Championship of the year. And I'm really looking forward to how the playoffs will be progressing. But we've got one more final attack to take a look at first. It's going to be Yurik from Hama making his last stab at this base with a hybrid army. 9 Hogs and 16 Miners, backed up with a nice complement of heal, rage, and freeze spells to keep them on path here. It's going to be an attack out the right lane to start things off, holding on to those 5 healers until he thinks it's time to get them in. 2 balloons might provide a little bit of coconut loon mine sweeping out in front, but otherwise looks like Tesla farm out on the right lane is going to get engaged early here. Yurik is actually going to get a pretty good result from that, huh, Carbon?
Yeah, Yurik is one of the best attackers in the game, and he's going to come in and try to show that for Hama. And the Queen's going to charge her way straight into this Town Hall section. Let's see if she decides to actually grab it. Notice that we do have 2 multi-target Infernos. And if you were to, let's say, Lalo a base like this, that would be very, very difficult. And this base, it kind of spread things out. So you can't get the value like for a Zap Lalo or for like using the lightning spell. So we're going to start to see base metas change to try to help prevent that, force you to do other attack strategies, which might not be as high of a hit rate, Woody.
Yeah, relatively conservative drop there with that rage spell. Didn't get the Archer Queen included in the second stage of that hit, and also she's not going to be able to take down the Expo. That's a lot more damage going to be stacked on top of her. With the poison spell coming out and down to handle some of these lava pups, it looks like the fight will still be going on here. Yurik is going to miss a few of those pups that have gone kind of down toward the bottom side of the space, engaging now against the Hogs and the Miners that are making their way through those bottom compartments. It's relatively spread out, though, and hard to imagine where Yurik is going to be able to concentrate his forces. Needs to be able to take down this Archer Queen and the Eagle Artillery quickly, but drops a free spell hitting only the Archer Queen. Still, I guess the Eagle Artillery is finished off, and with that multi-target Inferno down, it looks like Yurik has got a path to victory here. Only a minute left in the raid, though. Can he finish cleaning up the rest of the base?
He's got a few Hogs on the bottom side of the Queen. Ooh, wait a second. She does have ability. That is a single target Inferno. I don't know. There's just a little too many defenses here. The Warden's going to pick off the platform. Queen goes for the wall. Queen.
Burn it! Burn the ability!
Oh! There's an opening. Go around the wall, Queen. Don't go through it for the single. Oh, man.
Oh, man, and a giant bomb. knocks down the archers, but the queen's still alive for a little while. Healers try to top her off, but there's just not enough in there. Yurik's forces seem to get all the way through this base. Look, there's only 3 buildings left inside the walls, but just couldn't clear out to the other side. Those hogs and miners found a bit too much that they were up against. Nice attempt here from Yurik, but falling short in the final hit here from Hama. It's going to be victory for Darkest Muzhan, a 14-star advantage over the 10 dropped from Hama.
Yes, indeed, 82%, unfortunately, for that last attack for Hama, meaning that Darkest Muzhan are going to be going into the next round, which will be tomorrow, and they will be facing off against